from America's heartland, this is GJRB, Clinton, Iowa.
Life in every American family. Watch Leave It to Beaver, another of the great shows every week on ABC TV.
Magic Ranch is presented by M.J. Holloway and Company, makers of that delicious bite-sized candy treat, Milk Duds. Chocolatey, caramely, and rich with milk.
News is big news on ABC TV. Whenever things happen, wherever things happen, ABC's expanded worldwide news staff is on the spot. On ABC, you get the news fast.
The Andy Griffith Show will not be presented this evening. Lucy in London will return following station identification.
This is an NBC special news.
This time hour has been brought to you
by the Gulf Oil Corporation.
American Profile, Home Country, USA. Friday night on NBC.
ABC TV, the network that brings you Follow the Sun every Sunday over most of these stations.
More of the Hathaways in a moment, but first this message from next week's host.
Pete and Gladys has been brought to you by Contact, the new decongestant capsule that gives up to 12 hours relief, all day or all night relief from head cold congestion. New Contact.
We'll be back next week at the same time.
Now, Gary J's radio and television classics, remembering the vintage commercials, station breaks, sponsor programs, and other retro rarities from the golden age of television. And now, play trivia with Gary Russin. Okay, play trivia with Gary Russin. That's right, you can do that now. If you can answer the questions to today's trivia questions, if you know the answers, just call Gary Russin at 563-241-6114. If you want to stump him, there's your number. Now, here's the man who loves classic television, loves the past, and radio and TV history, Gary Russin. Well, it was a intro that I kind of goofed, and I'm going to redo it in post. As we say, back in the broadcasting school days and back in my college days, we used to say, heck, we'll edit in post. But I'll work on a new opening for that. That was supposed to be a new opening for this show, but didn't come off. Yeah, well, but that's the way it goes. All right, welcome aboard. Hello, everyone. Hello, everywhere across America. Welcome to Gary J's Radio and Television Classics. On today's show, vintage openings from the Beverly Hillbillies, My Three Sons, and Hazel. Also, we'll do a tribute to some of the stars who have passed recently, including Susanna Crowe, who played on the TV show The Partridge Family. We'll do a little piece on that later. Also coming up, tributes to Lynn Borden, who recently died. She was the part of the last season of Hazel. Also, we're going to do a story on James Best and remember him as well. And that will be along the way. Plus, we're going to open up the TV listings in retro prime time and go back to 1967. And along with that, classic cartoon openings from the kids section, including the Jetsons, Mickey Mouse Club, and other rare stuff. It's going to be a great show. Hope you'll stick around. Gary J's Radio and Television Classics here on GJRB. And I'm Gary J. Russin. Hope you'll stick around. Got a great show coming up. And happy Memorial Day, everyone. Welcome to that. In addition, speaking of Memorial Day, I'll have a tribute to our fine country and the veterans that served us. Got a real good piece from an old television special with John Wayne and a bunch of really big stars singing God Bless America, including Lucille Ball and Dean Martin, Bob Hope. So that's coming up a little later on here on Radio and TV Classics. But right now, though, here on GJRB Online, it's time to check out this, the Beverly Hillbillies.
Come and listen to my story about a man named Jed. A poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up through the ground come a bubbling crude oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea. Well, the first thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. The kinfolk said, Jed, move away from there. Said, California is a place you ought to be. So they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is, swimming pools, movie stars.
Yeah.
The Beverly Hillbilly.
We already know who does the music to that. If you've been on a rock for well over 30, 40, 50 years. Flat and Scruggs. But you know, they had an interesting way of billboarding their sponsors on that show. And it used to be where they would pass up a pickup truck, right, or a truck, and the sponsor would be right on the side of that trailer. And we all remember how that used to go. If you remember the original way that used to go on the air back in those days, check this out. This is the Flat and Straight. They used to record this just special for this program. Custom billboarding. Check it out. And they did that too with Kellogg's.
Come along and visit with the Clanton family as they learn the simple pleasures of the hills of Beverly. That includes the products of your sponsor of the week, the cereals of Kellogg's, Kellogg's of Battle Creek, K-E-L-L-O double-good Kellogg's, that's the U.
Yeah, and a lot of times they would go into that and go right into their live spots, their live commercial. Well, it looked like it was a live commercial, but I'm sure they had pre-recorded it ahead of time. But usually the Winston's sponsor, and they would, of course, I call them cast commercials, which is what they were. The cast doing the commercials for their sponsor program, and the Beverly Hillbillies no different.
How about handing one to me right now? Anybody got a match?
Yeah, I do, Uncle Jed.
Jethro, you scratched the paint.
Sorry, Uncle Jed. I couldn't see it for the rust.
By doggies, this is a way to enjoy a holiday, or any other day for that matter, smoking a Winston.
Winston tastes good, huh, Pa?
That's a fact. Winston tastes good.
Like a cigarette.
At order.
And that is classic memories. We always like to play those. And, of course, another great show at that time was My Three Sons.
Wanted, a woman to mother a family of 5 males. Duties to provide good meals, a calm atmosphere, cultural stimulation, and proper exposure to the finer things in life.
Boy, that's not like the Stags I remember.
Who's that little girl? The one with the cat? You keep telling me if I run around with no clothes on, I'll catch a cold.
For more details, watch My Three Sons in color with Fred McMurray as the woman-shy father.
Let's see. There was Evelyn, Norma, Marilyn, Virginia,
And William Demarest as the uncle who provides the woman's touch for the boys, who, like all boys, are made of sugar and spice and puppy dog's tails. Or is it frog spice and snail's tails?
And the original sponsor was Quaker Oats.
Hi, welcome to our show from the Quaker Oats Company.
My Three Sons. Starring Fred McMurray. And as Bob, William Frawley. Brought to you tonight by Aunt Jemima Pancake Mix. Perfect pancakes in 10 shapes.
And a classic there, the opening of My Three Sons, and I believe it's a black and white one. So we're going back to the ABC days when it started originally. And we got more radio and TV classics on GJRB. Here online, this is our weekend show, and of course, Memorial Day weekend wrapping up. And I thought, what a way to wrap it up. Why don't we just do this show on Memorial Day and do it that way. And of course, as you know, I told you before, earlier, I was helping my friend Brian. We're trying to get the sound system fixed up in our church. So I was doing that. And so being that May, I moved this show over to Monday. All right, you got Gary J's radio and television classics here on GJRB. Hope you're enjoying the program. We have a great show lined up for you. We're gonna open up. I'm gonna be doing some trivia questions later here as we get this show progresses, and I've had some really interesting ones, and we're gonna take phone calls on them. So along with that, I'll be opening up the lines, and that's coming up a little bit later on here on GJRB. And I have a lot of really neat stuff to play for you. So hope you'll stay with me. Gary J's radio and television classics, going down memory lane and having a whole lot of fun doing it too here on GJRB online. And I'm Gary J. Russin. This is Radio and TV Classics here on GJRB. And more to come. Radio and TV Classics continues after we take this quick break. And then I have more coming up from those classic days, including the original sponsor. Anybody know it? To Hazel. You know the original sponsor to Hazel was? Got that coming up. And a tribute to Donna Douglas, who left us recently. Going to talk about her, the loss of her. She was one of the best. So Donna Douglas coming up, our tribute to her. So enjoy the scroll down memory lane. Radio and TV classics here on GJRB online. I'm Gary J. Russin. I'll be returning with more because classic stuff in just a moment. On the next Gary Russin program, I'll be a Freestyle Friday abbreviated edition. It's a weekend freestyle show. Open lines, open chat, talking about anything that bugs you. Also, GJRB Spring Summer Flexible Schedule starts June 8th, and I'll be talking about that too. That's Friday, May 29th, live, early, 12 o'clock noon on GJRB. Recently, we lost Robin Williams, an outstanding comedian who suffered a great deal. Let's make sure that suicides like this won't happen to anyone close to us. If you know anybody who may be depressed and are suffering like Robin Williams did, get them help. Call this number, 1-800-273-8255. That is the number of the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. The call is free and confidential and will be answered by a trained counselor at a local crisis center. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline can help. The weird, the strange, the bizarre, way out fun. Way out there. Another show coming soon on GJRB Online. The mainstream media is not telling you the truth. They have their own agenda. At GJRB, I have mine. Telling you what's really going on with sources like End Time Headlines.